What's up, YouTube? I'm Shawnty Hall, and this is Game Talk. For today's game, we're going to be talking about the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Boston Celtics. The reason I wanted to watch this game was because it's the first Game 7 of this postseason, and these two teams have had some pretty close games so far. But before I get into my thoughts on the game, let's talk about the numbers. Final score of the game was 112-96 with Boston taking the win. For the Celtics, Terry Rozier had 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. Al Horford had 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. And Jason Tatum had 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. As a team, Boston shot 53% overall, 34% from behind the three-point line, and 61% from the free throw line. Moving on to the Bucks, Chris Middleton had 32 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. Eric Bledsoe had 23 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Giannis had 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. As a team, Milwaukee shot 47% overall, 33% from behind the three-point line, and 94% from the free throw line. Alright, so now I want to get into my thoughts on the game, starting with the Celtics. And the first thing I noticed for the Celtics, as expected, they moved the ball very, very well. This let them find some very easy and open opportunities for themselves. But if I had to make a complaint, they did miss on some pretty wide open opportunities that really could have pushed them ahead earlier on. Something else I think the Celtics did extremely well this game was play transition defense. That's where the Bucks play their best basketball, and they completely took that away from them. I could probably even just say that the Celtics defensive effort was great all around tonight. It really felt like every shot they made the Bucks take was difficult and contested. If I had to make one complaint, it would be that they let the Bucks guards get a little bit too much penetration. This allowed them to get to the free throw line fairly often and get some easy points, or kick the ball out for 3, but even in those situations, I'd say the Celtics recovered pretty well because the Bucks didn't really shoot well from 3 at all. One complaint I do have for the Celtics is at times they would get away from that great ball movement that we talked about and start settling for mid-range jumpers and things like that. Those aren't good shots that allowed the Bucks to gain momentum and go on a few runs this game. The last thing I want to say about the Celtics this game is that they did a great job on the offensive glass. They pulled down 11 offensive rebounds, which gave them the opportunity for some easy second chances. But those are all my thoughts on the Celtics. Now moving on to the Bucks. And the first thing I can say I noticed for the Bucks is that there is just way too much standing around in their offense. Like, there's just no off-ball action at all. Everybody's just standing around waiting for something to happen. The Celtics are a really good defensive team, so that's not going to work. So I was hoping they would make that adjustment later in the game, but it never came. And that really leads into my second point, which is the Bucks were just forcing up some extremely tough shots. At times, it seriously seemed like a lot of their made baskets were just lucky. Another problem the Bucks had was early on, Giannis and Eric Bledsoe both got into foul trouble. By the second quarter, they each had 3 and both had to sit, which allowed the Celtics to go on a run. And then for around the last 7 minutes of the game, Giannis had to play pretty passively on defense because he had 5 fouls. Something else I want to say about the Bucks is that they got no help from their bench tonight outside of Jabari Parker. The only other person from the bench to score was Jason Terry, and he only had 3 points. And everybody else was so bad this game that they were basically unplayable. My last thought on the Bucks is that they really need to go into this offseason with a couple of things in mind. They have some very decent talent that, if utilized right, can make them a very good team. Unfortunately, they've been mismanaged this whole season. There are some pretty decent coaches out there right now that I think can really turn this team around. Secondly, they need to strengthen their bench unit to the point where they're playable. There are a few more things, but I'll talk about those in my end of the season report video on the Bucks. But for now, those are all my thoughts on the game. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and like it. If you enjoy NBA videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time.